Hello, good evening, Speed Gaming 3, and welcome to the Link Fast Randomizer Daily Race with a little less rando tonight. It is a vanilla preset. Vanilla preset, for those of you who have never heard of it, it's Link to the Past with everything in the vanilla locations. It's a great mode, kind of NMG light in a sense. We get all the great features of rando in the process. So, you want a quick swap? You got quick swap. You want your own custom sprite? You got it. You want to have that different MSU music stuff? All yours. You want an icebreaker? You want to dive her down? Cool, go for it. So it is the basic rando rules that you're used to seeing with the daily race, but put into the vanilla game. So everything is where it's normally supposed to be. Now, tonight, we've got Yarok, Relkin, Zeke, and Fiery running this race on the restream. We do have a few other runners, 4 other runners. I can point them out. Secretly a Sliver, High Ruler, Sandrez, and Shire are also running this one for fun tonight. So, should be a fun little race. That does mean, of course, we have a standard start. So we will be rescuing Princess Zelda. We're going to get that sword off of the uncle. I can say that at least our runners on the left side, I am familiar with Yarok and Relkin as NMG runners and their ability there. So for them, this is definitely a little bit more old hat in that sense. I know Zeke's not a big NMG person, and I'm not as familiar with Fiery in that sense. But so far, all good. All 4 of our runners, remembering, do not grab that sewer chest. The one difference here is Fiery grabbing the lamp out of Link's house. So that is, of course, one of those little differences for NMG runners. There are multiple lamp locations. The lamp that we're going to see our runners grab here will be typically Zelda's cell. So yeah, gonna get that key guard. So yeah, next thing we're going to go do is we are going to probably pull the boomerang. I don't see a reason why our runners will not pull a boomerang tonight. It's a great item to have early. It does speed up some things actually in this early game. So you can see they get that guard kill and then immediately throw that boomerang just to get that key. Really well done. And you see the little differences, like, you know, typically what Fiery did on that screen is a very like rando strat where you kill the guard up into the boom chest. In NMG, we actually kill him and push him to the right side and use the boomerang to get the key. Nice 8 slashes from 3 of our runners so far. Fiery going to go at least with a 1 pot, maybe a 2 pot. Okay, 1 pot 4 slash, looks like. Oh. Really careful there. Scary. Does get that extra heart, but Zeke, Yarok, and Relkin moving right along out of the Zelda cell and back up towards the dark portion of the escape. Now, one thing that is different for this mode, besides what we explained earlier, is one of the other sets of rules that we're actually playing by tonight. So usually NMG runs, we talk about no save and quit allowed. This specific race is a save and quit allowed race. There are categories on race time for vanilla preset for this thing that we're doing where we do not allow a save and quit. Tonight is a save and quit allowed race. So you will see runners do their save and quits at the appropriate times. Generally, it's not a huge deal in this. Like the difference between a save and quit and a no save and quit run are not huge. But in the early game, there are some really nice spots that we can save and quit to get around the world just that much faster. We will see one of those coming up right after the escape. So there's our Dark Cross key, of course, and then into the back we do need to get the rat key. Not bad on Yurek's side. Relkin had a decent rat as well. We'll see what kind of rat Zeke sees here. We're gonna get Seattle. No, a little bit of Seattle rat behavior, unfortunately, but does clean up. Oh, unfortunately, that boomerang did not get that key. And then finally for Fiery, what do we got on their rat? Rat actually came right at them, so how kind. But there we go. Yurek through just under 5'10", pretty nice. Relkin about a 5'10", 5'11". Zeke not far behind, and there's our first save and quit on Yurek's screen. So yeah, that's going to be the quickest way to get around. He is skipping the Sank Heart. We also saw a Sank Heart skip from Relkin. Zeke is through, and he is going to pick up that Sank Heart. Don't blame him. Not saving and quitting. And Fiery through as well. Going to grab that Sank Heart, and also not saving and quitting. This is actually a little bit quicker. If you're familiar with the Master Sword route of NMG, save and quit does speed things up getting to Eastern Palace. Oh, and I'm getting some info from Yoho. Thank you, Yoho. I am not familiar with the save and quit category as deeply in terms of the heart situation, so apparently you get the Sank Heart on save and quit for Hera. But yeah, we're now into Eastern Palace. Cannonball chest doesn't matter. That's just some money. We'll have money other ways in this run. So we're going to the vanilla... Well, we're doing vanilla stuff. We're going to the big key chest, and then we're going to get the bow out of the big chest. That's really our focus on this one. Typical with Eastern Palace, we are going to get some arrows. So we'll skip those on the left side for now. We'll get the top pot here probably. Yep, Yurek is grabbing those, and so is Relkin. That'll give us at least 15 arrows into the back. One of the big parts of, one of the advantages of learning this run is getting some familiarity with pots and the items in them. So in this case, we were able to get, some arrows to start. It does show itself later with stuff like maybe a little magic or other hearts. Nice damage boost for Yurek, as well as Relkin, only losing a heart and a half on both of those. So yeah, we'll now pick up these two arrow pots here, giving us 15 as well as our bow. Zeke getting his dark key, as Fiery is about to get theirs as well. And we're through into the back of Eastern Palace. Zeke is getting that big key. Very nice. And of course, we are still bootsless. Luckily, we will have the boots very soon. The game is about to be playable, I promise. Gamer room, as always, being its lovely self. Relkin closing the gap a little bit. Nice kills, though, for both of them. And they're roughly about even into the Armos fight. Ooh, I love that strat. Very nice. And good kill for Yeruk as well as Relkin, both of them through the Armos fight. Meanwhile, Zeke into the gamer room, very nice on the Stalfos. Gets that red Igor. Fiery not far behind. Entering gamer room now. Both Yeruk and Relkin now heading towards Sahasrahla. We're going to turn that green pendant. We'll see if they do anything with the closet here. Closet does, of course, have bombs and money. Yeruk is going for it, as well as Relkin. So yeah, there's 100 rupees and 3 bombs. Relkin is not getting the bombs, so we're completely even. So yeah, our next goal, we're going to go get that book off of the library. So there's our first little save and quit. And oh, you'll love to see it. The synchronous dashes here from Yeruk and Relkin. Meanwhile, Zeke does have Armos dead. I missed if he got the script pretty well. Fiery did get a little off script, but also through the Armos fight. So Zeke about to get his boots, and Fiery not far behind. And yeah, after we get that book, we are able to save and quit once again. Right back to Link's house, and it's time for Desert. So yeah, early game, this is where kind of the save and quit has its benefits. You know, by the time we start getting the flute and the mirror combined, it shows a lot less value in that sense. But in this early game where, you know, we want to get to areas that are so far away from each other, such as Desert, Eastern, and Hera, you know, there is a lot of value in this play. And it does look like Fiery has swapped over to starting to use save and quit. Zeke is still going to play without it. Relkin, our first runner into Desert Palace. Now, in terms of the Desert Palace stuff, we have to get the small key off the torch. We have to get the big key on the right side, past the cannonballs. And then we have to get the glove out of the big chest. Now, in this dungeon, there are, of course, 20 arrows that are on the path. So what that means is that first pot you saw right before the first of those, like that first pot we lifted, that was one of our arrow pots. This one in the middle of that room that you're seeing Yeruk and Relkin in right now, that'll be our second arrow pot. We'll get that after we get the big key. For this room, we're just going to kill the enemies and go straight through. But yeah, as we come out of this room, you'll see both of our runners go after the arrows in the middle. Meanwhile, Zeke and Fiery are working their way to Desert Palace. And yeah, here we go. This far right pot, and then the upper left here is 2 more arrow pots for an additional 10. So there's your 20 arrows you get in Desert Palace traditionally as part of an NMG run. So if you're ever lacking arrows, those are your easy spots. There's also some spots for small magic, not typically part of an NMG run, but nice knowledge to have. And Yeruk going for the spin speed. Relkin saying, no thank you. That is a scary spin speed, folks. You mess that up a bit, and you can find yourself jumping off the ledge and having to go through that cutscene again. Nobody's happy doing that. It's why I don't do it. We're in the back of the desert, though, over on Yeruk and Relkin's side. Very nice so far. As we're coming up on everybody's favorite NMG boss, of course, Alan Molis. We'll see how good the patterns are. The patterns are set, This is RNG for the same for all of our runners. It's seed dependent, so that's a nice little bonus. And here we go. Okay, there's a... Each one of them's got one down so far. There's a second one down for Relkin. And Landmo down for Relkin. Yarek's still working on... Okay, I think that was a 4 cycle for Yarek and a 3 for Relkin. But that is a second pendant for both of our runners. For both of those runners. We're going to save and quit again here as we head up towards the Tower of Hera. As Yoho was saying, that is when they're grabbing their Sank Heart. It does give them full health, so I do see the value in it. Those first couple of dungeons, not too bad, only on 3 and 4 hearts respectively. So getting that refill now to be at 6 hearts, not too bad. What is randomized here? Not much of anything. Everything is kind of set for the run. The locations are known, everything. Like, this is Link to the Past, just with rando quality of life, is the way I would describe it. Zeke on his Lamellus fight. Some of the boss RNG is set as well, but there are some things that are still random. Enemy RNG can be a little varied. So, like, a good example would be like the double pokey room in Turtle Rock. And then stuff like Death Mountain, like, you know, the boulders and the dead rocks can definitely still screw with you beyond, you know, just normal bad. Like, you could definitely have really, really bad RNG on that. Zeke getting through his Landmolus fight. Fiery, there's the first Lammo kill for Fiery. As Relkin and Yarok are now in Tower of Hera. So for Tower of Hera, we're going to get that small key in the basement cage. Really nice boomerang timing. Oh, try to go for that boom dash. Just missing it on Relkin's side. And then, of course, we've got that you now see on Yarok's side. Very nice. So we do have to, of course, do the tile room down here in the basement because we need that vanilla big key. Relkin going to take a little bit of a coffee break. As well as Yarek. So just a nice little break here. Zeke giving us a little bit of the non-save and quit variety. I do enjoy seeing the traditional NMG route here, or the no save and quit allowed route. He is going to set up for that fake flipper. Yes. In this mode, you are able to watch. So if there was a race between 2 runners, it's very common for 2 runners to watch each other in this. And that can influence, you know, potential stuff like how safe you want to play portions of this race. Like, I will say there are some minor differences that can change, or that you can have in this race type. Typical NMG, we don't consider something like an armor upgrade. Like, that's an early safety you learn to drop in NMG. But in vanilla preset, the Ice Palace routing actually lends itself to trying to potentially get blue mail. The big key is actually pretty easy with Icebreaker to add into your route, and thus blue mail is not a terrible pickup. So we got Yerrick down to a heart and a half. Relkin was down to a heart and a half, but did hit that switch and got some pickups as they both enter our Moldorm fight. NMG Moldorm, also not a great fight comparatively to the Landmo fight we dealt with. Ooh. Yerrick down to half heart. Gonna have to be really careful here. But Relkin down to, then there goes Moldorm for Relkin. Nicely done. Yerrick on to his final hit. And nice kill from both of our runners. Really well done. Yeah, here's one of our last major save and quits. What we're going to do is we're going back to Sanctuary. We're going to head to the Master Sword pedestal to get that. It's not like within Rando. Yeah, I mean within the NMG world, Icebreaker is not allowed. Neither is Diver Down. So. But within the Rando world, it is part of our minor glitches. So there's that ped pull for Relkin, just under 20 minutes and 30 seconds. Not bad time there. And Yerrick pulling at about 20:37. And yes, if you were hoping to see Specky Clip tonight, while it is legal in this race, it's sadly physically impossible. Specky Clip requires a hookshot when you enter Swamp, and we will not have a hookshot entering Swamp. Meanwhile, Zeke and Fiery both climbing Tower of Hera. Zeke entering the petting zoo, while Fiery just into that second floor. Relkin into Aga Tower, going for some very traditional NMG strats instead of Dinner Bell. Nicely done. Now, Yerrick does not have full health, so he is going for Dinner Bell strats. Nice dash strats for Relkin to preserve the fairy traditionally. On that question of progressive, Fox informing us that items are not progressive. Yeah, I will say that's not something I've done, because not exactly something I mess with order on. Zeke having a really annoying time here with Moldorm on the left side. Meanwhile, Fiery also having an adventure with Moldorm. Zeke, though, getting through that Moldorm fight. Meanwhile, Relkin Circle of Pots, but we're having a little bit of a freeze here as he was throwing the boomerang. As Yerrick is into the last room before Aga. Oh, okay. Fox messed with that. I guess that was during our most recent, or the most recent season of NMG League, where you did that. Okay. Education. Thank you. So we are on to our Aga fight. Aga is guaranteed 0 blue balls, no worries of other stuff, no shenanigans. Of course, that does mean you can try to plan around some of these Aga patterns a little bit. You see Yurik trying to push Aga up towards that center hit, or that center spot before like the lightning, or trying to anticipate where Aga is going to be. We are back on Relkin's side as well, just finishing up Aga. Nicely done. And we're going to be on our way to the Palace of Darkness. I must say, I'm very interested watching this back and forth with Zeke and Fiery, where Zeke is not taking the save and quits, but still roughly about even. Meanwhile, Relkin has Kiki and is just opening up Palace of Darkness. Yurik not far behind. We will, this one's got some different routes. We'll see which route both of our runners take to get their keys to finish this one out, or to do this dungeon. So yeah, we of course are going to start off with our shooter key here. We'll go through that front door and right up ahead here on Relkin's side. And immediately drop down to get this small key right here. Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going to get the bridge key or go back or what. So we are going to go and grab the basement key. And then go get the big key. Then we'll get the bridge key and head back for the hammer yump and getting our hammer. So Relkin just a little bit ahead right now, as we head towards the back of pod. Zeke and Fiery both working through Aga Tower at this point. Fiery out of the dark. Really nice hammer yump, though, on Relkin's side, as well as Yurik. Both just making quick work of Palace of Darkness here. Now, the one thing I'm not sure of is, do we get a save and quit after Palace of Darkness? This is one part I am not entirely certain of for this route. Saves like 3 seconds. Okay, well, we'll see what they do. I guess we'll see a save and quit. Meanwhile, Zeke and Fiery both into their Aga cutscenes. Okay, dark basement for Relkin here. Good setup, nice turtles. Really well done. Okay, so the helmet RNG itself is consistent in this fight. Good turtles as well on Yurik's side. So yeah, Helma RNG is set. So if he's super aggressive, he's going to be aggressive for everybody. Nice start there. Sets up for the spin speed. And got 3 hits in before that, before executing the spin speed. Then it's just 17 hits, of course, to the mask. Oh yeah, and this is fast ROM, folks. So nice kill on Relkin's side. Not getting too bothered by that quick mask release. And wow, really nice RNG for that that Helma fight. Good job by Yeruk as well. I completely forgot what this was fast ROM. I was like, this looks pretty normal. But yeah, no, that mask came off quick, and that can catch a runner off guard. But luckily, the Helma RNG for this one was not bad. Relkin getting a little caught off guard, it feels like there. Yeruk a little bit better set up, knowing to go for this. We'll be working our way over to get our flute next. Okay, so we're going to stop here at Stumpy, grab that shovel. Relkin a little bit better set up for the mirror here. Get that flute. I don't think Yeruk wanted to re-enter that portal. Nope. So we're going to go activate our flute, and then, of course, next up will be Thieves Town. So flute's active on Yeruk and Relkin's side. Meanwhile, Zeke and Fiery working both of their way back towards that hammer. Was that bonk on purpose for the apples? I gotta wonder. Did we really want full health? But both of our runners into Dark World. Fiery grabbing that small key on the right side there of the rupee basement. I was gonna say that's looking really low for Fiery. And unfortunately, Fiery is going to reset this. You have to, unfortunately, go to the rupee basement to reset the... Yeah, if you're unfamiliar, if you mess up the hammer ramp here, you have to go into the rupee basement to then reset the bridge. Yes, the medallion requirements are actually backwards. Good call. It is Ether for Meyer and Quake for Tiara, but not a huge issue. Nicely going so far in the Thieves Town sets for Relkin and Yurik. Meanwhile, Zeke just about to go for the Helma fight. Unfortunately, this hammering up not going great for Fiery tonight. Shoutouts to our tracker Kif tonight for correcting those medallions and doing a great job up to this point. Zeke into the Helma fight. As we said, not a bad Helma overall. Gets through. To be a little careful here. This aggression was great for typical NMG strats, but any deviation from NMG has just been dangerous here. Does get through it. Whew, scary. Fiery did get that hammer. Meanwhile, Relkin and Yurik both now have that mitts. Interesting. I'm used to a slash strat there for timing on that return from the mitts, given the berries being electric. But nice dash up the left side on Yurik's side. And of course, everybody's favorite scripted fight in Link to the Past, Blind. 9 hits and all that stuff. Nice kill for Relkin just outside the light, or just on the brink of the light. See if Yurik does the same. Just in the light, but not bad either. Good kill for both of them on Thieves. Zeke through with Pod now and making his way towards the flute. Fiery heading towards Helmasaur. Okay, so we do get that first 300 at the brewery. We do need some money, of course, for our flippers. And there are 2 300s in this mode that we get typically. First of those is in the brewery. The second one will be in C-shaped house. If you weren't aware, in the Hundo route, we usually skip the blue rang in Hyrule Castle to get the red rang at the brewery. So the rupee route's a little bit different for the Hundo category. But very nice. We've got Tempered Sword. We don't have to do the good old in, out dance that we typically do in NMG there. Just in, drop off Jeremiah, walk out, and then go back in, and you get your sword. There's our second 300 on Relkin's side. So now we've got all the money we need for the rest of the seed. Okay, Fiery done with a Pod as well. Getting that save and quit. A little bit of a different route here. As we said, Fiery and Zeke, not traditional NMG runners, so maybe not as familiar with the route. Zeke's been holding roughly to the route without save and quit. Fiery definitely a little bit less knowledgeable in terms of the NMG order of things, but still doing a good job up to this point. Relkin having a much better vanilla big key, or a big key in Skull here. These Gibdos and Wallmasters really giving Yurik a bit of a pain in the butt. Got through it without taking damage, but a lot slower than I'm sure he would prefer. Fire Rod for Relkin. Gonna still take this damage into the pit. While you could mirror out easily with Quick Swap, that's actually a really nice strat there. By falling into the pit after getting Fire Rod, use your iframes to walk past the enemy on the outside. So that was actually purposeful damage. Heading towards the back of Skull Woods now. And good dash. Unfortunately, that Fire Snake said, not today. Vanilla preset is quite simple to understand. All it does is puts all the items in their vanilla locations. And you got to see there some of those minor rando differences, the RNG factor. So while this is not a rando seed, that Fire Snake was actually good RNG for Yarok, while it was not great for Relkin. So while a lot of this stuff is set, that is one of the occasions that it is not set RNG. But yeah, so this is just vanilla locations for everything in the game. And then it's just all the things that we associate with rando being allowed. So any rando specific glitches that are not allowed in the NMG rule set are allowed here. So like Icebreaker, Diver Down, stuff like that is allowed in this race. That's about it. So do you want to play the game with your custom sprite or custom music in Quick Swap? Go for it. We did get a save and quit out of Skull Woods as we are now heading up towards Quakefish and our flippers. Yeah, the other nice thing about this, of course, is that we have no text boxes. Or almost no text boxes. I say that as Zeke's about to come up on one of our few text boxes on the blind fight. Quake Medallion there now for Relkin. Gonna head in to get his flippers, and I believe, what, save and quit to get Ether Medallion right after this? What I'll say is this is a great mode for learning a lot of vanilla strats, and there's a lot of great info you can get about this. Like, if you're familiar with the runners tonight, I will say, like, Relkin is, you know, Relkin and Yarok especially are two great NMG runners, but also like that execution they are showing here in the NMG style race also greatly applies to their rando play. So, like, there is a lot of value in what you're seeing here. So now we're going to go with the Ether Medallion. The reason why we want this, so we're getting this a little bit earlier. The idea is we want that Cane of Samaria now, because what we're going to do is we're going to go get, or we want Ether so we can go get Cane of Samaria quicker. And you might be wondering, why did Relkin actually go and slash those bushes? He's hoping for a fairy before heading to Mire, so he can do have a better Mire too. Unfortunately, no fairy drop. Meanwhile, Yarok did get to maintain full health, and yeah, that's, you know, that is nice to have for Mire 2. I'm sure Relkin should be able to pull off some Mire 2 strats here without full health. It's just, Mire is a scary dungeon in this mode already. Like, this is not easy. Mire is more dangerous in vanilla preset routing than it is in traditional NMG routing. We have less health than we normally would, so there's the margin for error is slimmer. Nice on the Mire 2 for Relkin. We'll see if he does pick up a couple of extra hearts. Really nice. Yarok using the sword beams to great effect as well. Zeke heading towards Skull now. Fiery working backwards towards the flute real quick. So yeah, what we're going to do for our Mire route is we're picking up this small key here, that pot key. Then we're going to work our way over to the left side. Of course, vanilla big key means we do have to go down to that torch, or the other torches. Feels weird calling everything its vanilla location when obviously it's going to be its vanilla location. Once again, pretty much synced up here in Mire between Yurik and Ralkin. Really, these two have been putting on quite a show. Zeke has his Fire Rod working back towards the Moth. Fiery just about to get the Tempered Sword, does have the Flute as well, and will be heading to Skull shortly. I'm loving this sync in these Mire rooms. The practice that goes into this is just, yeah, this is great. There's Arcana Samaria now for both of them. We've got our Spike Room key. Let's see, how's the heart situation? 4 hearts for Relkin. That's a little scary. Yurik down to 5. Now 6. So 6-5 on the hearts. I know that's enough. I know 6 is enough. Is 5 enough for Mire or for quick kill strats? Or am I thinking it's supposed to be 6? Because I thought the line was 5.5. Five is fine but tight. Okay. See, I wouldn't go for it because I know I'm not hitting 5 heart, but ooh, baby. Nice spooky action. Oh, Relkin did get another one. Okay, nice. Although it does look like Yurik lost one. So yeah, they swapped heart totals. Great. No, wait, they're both at 5. But no matter, both of them. Look at those Vidi kills. Lovely. With 1 heart to spare, they're both fine. It's great. We're moving on. See? Professionals. Okay, so that handles Misery Mire. We are off, and I believe Ice Palace will be our next dungeon. Ah, nice bonks. Oh, we're going to do Swamp next. Never mind. I don't think this makes too much of a difference in the route or the timing, so... Zeke heading to Mire, though. Are we going to get the bird toss? I don't think we've had a bird toss yet. Nope, we got hammered. The murder dactyl got hammered. Ouch. Those Water Striders just not lining up perfectly for either of our runners out in front here in a Swamp Palace. And as I said earlier, while the Specky Clip is allowed now and legal, unfortunately we have no way to do it in this Swamp Palace because we have no hook shot. So we're going to see normal hook or normal Swamp Palace strats. So if you were hoping for Specky, not tonight, folks. Sorry. Meanwhile, if I were going to get the Ether Medallion, Zeke is working towards that big key in Mire. And Ralkin and Yeruk are working towards the big key in Swamp Palace. Ralkin has opened up a little bit of a lead. Okay, heading up towards the upper floor here of Swamp Palace. We're going to dash under that block that helps set up the RNG in this room. Very nicely done. You can get really clean dashes going under the block for this big key on the right side if you're doing that chess only. Zeke, unfortunately, down to 2 hearts. It's going to be a little bit of a scary Vidi fight coming up. Of course, we have a hook shot now on Eric and Ralkin's side. And we're going to now see the diver down here. Well done from Ralkin. Eric also setting up for the Keen of Samaria version. But Yarek's going to do it on the right side instead of the left side that Ralkin did. Ralkin also getting a few extra arrows. Was running a bit low, but not bad. And then, of course, one final key on our way to the Argus fight. Very nice, quick one cycle on Ralkin's side. Just missing the 0, but nice. And there we go. Argus down. Yeruk missing the 0, but probably, yeah, should be set up for a decent one cycle here. Not bad. Zeke have to play this really, really careful here. Oh, unfortunate getting tagged by that eyeball there. Meanwhile, Eric and Ralkin both done with Swamp Palace, heading towards Ice for our 6th crystals. Yeah, I'm thinking about the arrow route at this point, like what works best. Like we both, both runners did have sufficient arrows to deal with Mire, which is always a good thing. So the question becomes, where after that? TR does have that 5-pot in the main hub, or the right after the main hub and after Chomps. So yeah, we're getting the Ice Palace route now. While you're used to seeing us hit the switch to be able to Ice Palace bomb jump and not need the big key, getting the big key is actually quicker in this route. So you get that big key, you get the small key under this block. We're going to get an additional small key here in the spike room. And then we have all the keys we need to get through ice. Now, the one thing to really pay attention to with the with Ice Palace in this mode, or in this in the vanilla preset, is magic's a little tighter here. So usually you're only using like one fire rod shot. This version with the icebreaker uses 2 Samaria blocks, which is a full piece of magic. So you are very tight. Like these 2 magics are super required to make sure you have enough magic to get through Cold Stare. So you really don't have play with the additional shots or additional like pickups. Very nice kill though for Relkin, using the sword dupes. Yeah, and we had the option for blue mail here. Blue mail is an option if you are feeling up for it, but neither runner went for it. Oh, Fiery, unfortunately, getting tagged by the lightning, it looks like. Zeke, though, through this time on the little eyes, just has a little bit of work to do to get through Vidi here. And, yep, down goes Vidi. Nicely done for Zeke on the refight. Now, of course, we do have one extra tool we do need. Relkin does not forget, I need an Ice Rod. And Yurok also remembering, I got to get an Ice Rod. Meanwhile, Zeke, having finished up Mire, we're now going to go to, I believe this is 4. He's going to go get Quake as well as Flippers. I don't know, would Blue Mail make that big of a difference with Mire? Like, we're kind of utilizing trap damage, which doesn't change anyway. So, unfortunately, Eric getting dead rocked hard here on the mountain, having to reflute. Nice on the second attempt, though. Relkin opening up Turtle Rock, gonna head inside. So we do have some chests we get to skip in here. If you're unfamiliar with TR keys, this can be a really weird dungeon. But yeah, what we're gonna do is, so in the front here, there's only actually one small key in vanilla. It's on the right side. The right chest to the right side is our first key. Zeke went for the flippers, forgetting he didn't have the flippers to get the flippers, so has to run back, unfortunately. It's a weird feeling when we don't have them. I don't disagree with that moment. There's that small key for Relkin. Eric also into Turtle Rock right now. Fiery on the refight with Vitreous. Just have to be a little bit careful here. Through the little eyes, there's one last lightning. Okay, I can set up now for the bow kill. Nicely done. Meanwhile, Ralkin got the Pokey Key there, now getting the Chomps Key. That room is always spooky, but gets through it nicely. And Zeke heading into Ice Palace. Oh, interesting. Zeke is going to buy an arrow upgrade. Hadn't thought about that, but yeah, I mean, Zeke's at no arrows. So with the TR play now, Relkin is going to have to kill this Pokey here and open Lava Door. Because Lava Door, of course, is where our big key is. Okay, so we are, of course, going to skip the big chest here in Turtle Rock. There is going to be no Mirror Shield tonight, folks. I mean, maybe somebody else picks it up, but Yerek and Ralkin, no. Ralkin getting that fairy, don't disagree, like the pickup. But yeah, no way are we picking up a Mirror Shield on their side. There was our third of the TR Smalls in Crystal Roller Room. And of course, we got one final on Laser Bridge. It is the last chest on Laser Bridge, the one that is protected by the Hard Hat Beetle. Fiery getting that powder. Like that pickup. Nice laser dash there for Ralkin to get that key. And here we go, heading towards Trinex. One head down over onto the ice head now. Good job on the 2 kills. That backdoor Shroud, of course, cannot give a 0 cycle as far as I'm aware without a Butter Sword, but really does guarantee the 1 cycle. And nice kill on Trinex for phase 2. With the fast drum, I know the timing there has been a little bit harder. Like it just feels a little different, and you know, Relkin really hit that fight nicely. Yerek, meanwhile, also entering phase 2 now. And let's see. Good double spin and final hit. Really good kill. Oh, I missed it. Zeke did pick up the blue mail. Nice. Not a bad idea. Like, it is a hard fight, and the end game only gets harder, and it's not a lot of time investment to just pick up blue mail here, so good pickup. But Ralkin is entering into Ganon's tower, and Yarok is not far behind. If you're not used to seeing GT routing for the NMG, what we do normally is you get that pot key here in this first room. We skip the torch key. It might seem odd to skip such an opened key like that, but it actually is slower to grab that key than grab a different one later. Nice boom strats. We'll get this pot key. Well, then the next chest we will open is coming up here in Fire Snake room. Fire Snake will have an additional small key. We'll pick that one up. And of course, since we don't need Rando Room, it is specifically called that because we only need it in the randomizer. There is nothing there that we want, I promise you. Even within the hundo, the 100% route, it is not going to have anything. Nice arrow pickup on Ralkin's side, up to 30 arrows entering Ice Armos. Good kill for Ralkin there. Yarok entering just about into that fight. And Yarok has just enough arrows. Ralkin entering into his climb. Nice kill for Yarok, just going through all 18 arrows perfectly. Grabbing that 10 out of the top left chest there. Ralkin, though, onto his climb. Dealing with the mimics 1 and 2 pretty nicely. Oh, that red mimic really got over there on Yarok's side, though. Not fun. Zeke, meanwhile, into Swamp for his 6th crystal. Fiery still has Ice Palace after Swamp. And yeah, Yarok's going to get these 5 arrows here. There are rooms in the gauntlet that you're seeing on Ralkin's side that do benefit from having some arrows. We do have actually some rooms that we use those. So like this one right here, G4, you saw Ralkin fire that arrow right as he entered the 4th room of the gauntlet. It is to control that top red Zizak. Excuse me, Lanmo? I'm pretty sure I saw Ralkin get a fire rod shot and a spin on that one. But either way, both of our runners on the left side just tearing through this gauntlet here. Very nice so far. You're seeing Yarok not trying to use any extra magic. You want to have 7 fire rod shots here. That's kind of just, you know, the proper number to have. So not trying to burn an extra one, even if it would have sped up G5 a little bit. So, in here for Ralkin... Oh, Ralkin is going to pick up this key. I thought we might have seen the pre-Moldorm final key, but no. Ralkin goes for the mini Moldorm... or the mini Helma key. Interesting. Okay. Because, yeah, that chest right there that Ralkin walked past is a small key, and usually that I believe that's the NMG key to get, so a little surprising. Not a big deal. Meanwhile, Fiery taking down Argus for crystal number 5. Zeke is just entering the diver down room to get towards Argus as well, so going to have crystal 6 shortly. Ooh, interesting Aga 2 pattern there, and Relkin able to get that double still. And yeah, you're seeing Yerek go for that key. Unfortunately, didn't work out great. Did get bunny beamed and just bullied all around a little bit. Not fun. Ooh, and Moldorm 2 also messing with Yerek here. This is going to be a dangerous end of GT for Yerek. Down to 1 heart. But Relkin dropping into Ganon. Ooh, we got that middle pattern for Ganon here, so we're going to get some nice dash strats and double spins. Cool. And just like that, Relkin on to phase 3. Nicely done for the Aga 2 kill, though, for Yerek to survive that fight down to 1 heart and gets through GT. Okay, so we did get that torch glitch, of course, and at this point, Relkin just has to get those 12 spins to finish out this run. And there we go, Relkin taking down Ganon. Gonna just need to cross the bridge and we'll finish up this vanilla preset save and quit allowed run as part of the Link to the Past Randomizer daily race series. GG to Relkin, finishing with an official race time of 1:11:31. His timer shows a 1:11:30, which is also a great time either way. I don't know if he has a time on the speedrun board for this category. If we can get him in for an interview, I will try to ask, because this would be an eligible run to submit for it. Wait, really? Oh, man. Let's see. Any percent save and quit allowed? It is. Meanwhile, GG also to Yerek here, gonna cross that bridge and finish out his run. Getting a 1:12:36. Nice for both runners. Relkin actually unable to do the interview tonight. Says, gotta run, thanks for restream. So awesome. I will say Yerek was the original world record holder here. This is a PB for him in this category, and big part of that, of course, is the new addition of Fast ROM. So I'll be curious to hear his take. I do see him in the waiting room. Meanwhile, Zeke working through Turtle Rock right now. Fiery just getting a crystal number 6 out of Ice Palace. Also did pick up the blue mail. As we are now joined by Yerek. GG.
Hey, Jesse, GG's. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, nice casual PB tonight, right?
Right? Fast ROM is actually... not trying to throw shade on people, so I won't name names or anything. But like when I finally got around to trying Fast Drum, I was very pleasantly surprised at how easy it was to just kind of like fall into it. And so like I'm very happy with the state of things going forward.
Now, of course, we did mention that Ralkin's time would technically be now the world record here that you held. So does that mean you have to whittle this down some more, or?
Do I want to fight him on it? I mean, I might.
Okay.
This category is it's interesting, right? The save and quit changes quite a few things compared to ordinary NMG.
Right.
And it makes certain things that you kind of don't even think about in the vanilla speedrun a lot trickier. Like I was practicing some of this yesterday so I could remember where all the save and quit points were. And like I died to Landmo like twice, and I was like, that's not good. So that's why I picked up the 2 extra hearts, because I got hit. I was like, I'm fine with a 3 heart fight, but 2.5 is no bueno.
Yeah, no, that would be quite the annoyance. I must say thank you for your CR tonight. I'm sure chat will be very appreciative of the CR.
I try my best, man. What can I say? But yeah, I mean, like for people that want to get into this category, it's there are some tricky spots, but the rest of it is surprisingly comfortable. Like once you're just kind of like in the swing of things, and even doing stuff like the whole like Quake Flippers collection sequence is it's so nice. Just save and quit out of Skull Woods, go to Catfish, go to Zora, save and quit again, and now you're all of a sudden just like on the mountain with full hearts because you can just talk to the old man. Like, it's great.
Yeah, I will say our 3rd place runner tonight, I do want to shout this out. Secretly a Sliver, finishing 3rd with a 1:14.45. And the reason I do want to highlight his run is because, we got to see both you and Ralkin do what is objectively the faster route of doing Meyer first. But I do know that Sliver does get the hook shot earlier and makes Meyer a little bit more comfy.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. That's certainly a
because,
defensible position.
Yeah, and because I'm sure a lot of people are watching tonight going, oh my gosh, that Vidi fight is absolutely terrifying, when both of you enter the fight with 5 hearts and both clutch it out.
Yes, we were. So Relkin and I were actually in voice when we were doing the race, and we were like, "Oh, it's gonna be a 6 heart fight." He's like, "I got hit with some things," and I was like, "Yeah, me too." Or as soon as I went through the lobby and got hit by that fire snake twice, I was like, "Hey, I got hit twice too. This is gonna be fun." And then he's like, "All right, I found a heart. We're gonna be on 6 hearts. Great." And I was like, "I got hit by the Medusa going into the last room. I'm gonna do a 5 heart Vidi fight." And he's like, "Okay, GL, dude." It was a lot of fun.
Both of you hitting it.
There were some close scares. Like that GT was just rough.
Yeah, that was pretty scary to see towards the end there, down to 1 heart. Unfortunately, getting bunny beams and then going for that heart or that key was just.
I just got in the wrong spot, so when I tried to hookshot the switch and get through, I messed everything up, and I was like, what do I do? Because I'm just gonna the anti-fire is just gonna come back around. That's fine. And then the bunny beam's still there. I'm like, well, now what? I guess I'll just take another hit because I gotta keep going.
Right.
And then he just still wouldn't leave me alone. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
This is why we practice these things. 1 heart cannon fight. You need to
very clutch.
I mean, it's not even just speedrunners, right? Rando players, you should be comfortable with a 1 heart Ganon fight all the time. That's just a thing that you should be striving for, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. Ralkin not able to join us tonight, but he's also in the SGL spoiler tournament, where we're talking about low percent stuff for the 1 heart Ganon fight. We do talk about the idea of the Oko Ganon for spoiler. It's very common there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anything low percent. It's just you just have to execute the fight perfectly, and that's the bar that is set by the category.
By the way, if anybody was curious about that progression item again, there you go. Fiery proving that items are not progressive in this mode. picking up the mirror shield from the TR big chest. So all we had to do was just pick up that, and there you go.
It's comfy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some debate a couple months ago when we did the vanilla preset for NMG League, and then some people tried to route a Master Sword into Gold Sword alternate route instead of picking up Tempered, because you can just do that in this.
Right. Yeah. Foxless was here and did mention that as the alternate. Because there were a few people, I believe, who did do that during the tourney, just for fun, to try it out.
Yeah, I've for a while I was unconvinced because the boss fights are just horrendous. But after a little bit of practicing them, I'm coming around a little bit, and I might play around with it some just for fun.
Yeah, gold and free silvers then, not terrible.
It does make the end game super comfy, and then free zero cycle on Trinites. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, still a nice one with the tempered, but all the little time saves towards the end do add up. It's just a question of, do they add up enough to make up for the time lost in some of the Master Sword fights?
For sure.
But yeah, we do have Zeke just about into his Ice Armos fight. About to drop in. As Fiery is into Trinex. Both runners did get their blue mail, so going to have a little bit of safety to work with here. Yeah, Zeke actually played without save and quit at all tonight. Even with the save and quit allowed, yeah. So some minor differences, like as expected in terms of the timing. Like you definitely see it at the spots where you'd expect.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt very dirty, like doing escape and then just saving and quitting. I was like, am I breaking the rules? Am I gonna get disqualified?
Definitely not a common category in any sense of NMG or vanilla. Like, it's very rando-esque, but even for the vanilla preset runners, like, this is definitely the rare category to run. Yeah. I think I took a look. There are currently 2 runs on save and quit allowed for any percent.
I think the only reason that is because Ari forgot to submit his time.
Yeah, it's just you and Shady Force right now.
Yeah, Ari and I were doing practice races of this, and then I submitted mine, and he forgot about it, and I was like, "Cool, free world record." No, it is fun. I will definitely have to work this into the rotation a little more, especially now.
I mean,
there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, the category we definitely need is the 216 category, right?
Yeah, I would definitely. I am loving that ladder mode. So I've seen people do that. I know I was like Ari and some other people like routed that out. And I think now
only a couple of different things.
Yeah, now that the thing is fixed.
The uncle.
Rate, yeah. Should be neat to see. I've been meaning to go and do that, because then you get to do all the fun rooms like that you don't see, like Pen Gators in Ice Palace.
Yes, Pen Gators is definitely one of those better rooms that's kind of like we just don't get to see for this.
Yeah, like there's no speedrun that picks it up except for like I'm picking up all of the things.
Yep. Let's see. We did have a couple more finishers. Shire finished in 4th with a 120-101, followed closely by High Ruler with a 121-30. And yeah, Fiery is just going full right here. Oh.
I still don't know how to do this room.
It's called have invincibility, I think.
I think you're right.
That's usually my thought. I know there's a way, like, if you can get past this fire bar and then go all the way down, Like, if you're fast
Yeah,
enough, you can wait down at the bottom for a moment and then come back when the fire bar has gone around.
I've seen people that are better at rando than me do that. I still don't quite understand it.
Yeah.
Just do the bomb jump.
Yes. Meanwhile, Zeke up to the top of GT has the keys already needed. I must say, it is nice that we get to feature these kinds of this mode every so often. We don't do it a lot for the daily, but every once in a while, you get to see a different crowd come out, because I know, you're more of an NMG person, so like this isn't common for you to join one of these. So obviously this was kind of, you were like, hey, I get to run a mode that you really enjoy.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm usually, when I'm like, especially when I'm on a grind, like I just tend to forget that like the speed gaming stuff exists. And so I was reminded that this was happening. I was like, oh, I definitely have to go do it. I need to be more. It's hard, there's so much rando content going on.
Yeah.
That it can be hard to pay attention to all of it sometimes.
Yeah, and I as somebody who has such a focus on the NMG side, like there's a different mindset to grinding that to, I'm gonna do 5 rando tournaments.
Oh, for sure. It's very different.
But Zeke through the Aga fight just has Ganon left, as Fiery is now entering the Ganon's Tower climb.
It was a pretty comfortable Ganon fight in this seed. I think I like the RNG in this seed. I might do some more investigation of it to see.
Yeah, I was trying to think like if anything looked too bad. The Helma was really aggressive, which is always appreciated.
Yeah, the Helma was
aggressive and no fireballs.
Yeah, it was basically. I think it was basically perfect RNG for Helma.
Yeah.
Aga was really nice. He didn't have long warps. The Lanma fight, we kind of got away from both Rocket and I, but I think with enough practice.
Yeah, I think it was a 3 and a 4 cycle for you guys.
I think it was a 4 and a 5.
Oh, was it a 4 and a 5? I miscounted. Okay.
I think so. But like the beginning seemed super comfy. So if you actually like know what the patterns are going to be, then cleaning it up to a comfy 3, maybe even a 2, is probably not out of the question. So really now the question for me is like go see what all of the rest of the RNG is. How many digs are there, for example, and see if this might be a good candidate for 100% runs. But
yeah, that is also an option.
Having a nice helmet is great. Having a nice Aga is great. Having a comfortable Ganon, as long as you don't get yourself trapped on the far bottom right corner like I did, is usually pretty good. So I like it. I'm gonna save this one and add it to the spreadsheet because I'm always on the hunt for good vanilla preset seeds.
Yeah, as long as you've got, to anybody who's curious, as long as you have the link to the race ROM, or to the seed itself, it can be a submitted run for the category. So, yeah, that's why it is something that is appreciated for a lot of the runners of the categories, is like looking for those seeds that lend themselves to further runs. Because you can try a seed and be like, I can do okay with it, but I can make time up if I have a better Helma RNG pattern.
Yeah, it's weird like that, right? Like all the RNG is so because it's so normalized. You basically just like farm seeds until you find one that lets you push the times even lower, and
right.
Most of the like big instances of RNG, at least compared to the vanilla speedrun, just they don't exist anymore. It's very strange.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zeke does have an exploding Ganon and is about to cross the bridge, as he's also joining us in the chat as he finishes with a 128.41. GG, Zeke. Hello.
Hi, Jesse. Hi, Yurok. So I know something after I finished there.
Did you just find out it was save and quit allowed?
I just noticed the parentheses said something about save and quit.
Okay, I figured like this was a principled stance that you wanted to not save and quit tonight.
I didn't even notice it.
Okay, I mean, power to you. Good route of a vanilla preset minus save and quit.
So
You can submit that to the other category now, and then you have a free PV waiting for you whenever you pick this back up again.
I mean, I took a Vidi death here, so this actually, I think this would have PB'd my vanilla preset, if I remember my old splits right, but Vidi.
Yeah, that Vidi was going okay, and then at the end there, just got tagged. It was unfortunate.
Round 2 went better.
Yeah. Fiery taking down Aga 2.
I was gonna say, we've all been there.
I don't run NMG. I'm a rando player. Jesse can tell you that.
I was gonna say, I appreciated the fact that you came out for a vanilla preset tonight, and like you muscled through this one, and I gotta say, like, you knew the route. For somebody who says I am not an NMG runner, what you just did was the proper route for the most part.
I'm trying to remember if I messed up my order on Mire versus Ice versus Swamp with vanilla preset. Because I know
Honestly,
Mire slot at the end in vanilla.
It's a very much a personal preference. Yarok and Relkin both did Mire first, into Swamp, into Ice.
I figured it's Mire first regardless because it's vanilla preset, so you want King of Samaria.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if it's Ice or Swamp first normally.
But I will say, like, I know Sliver, who is also in this race and definitely kind of has that NMG focus, has said, you know, he prefers the safety of Swamp first. And the time difference between Swamp versus Mire first is relatively small. I think what it was said was like there's like a 6-second difference as a result early, but then having the hook shot in Mire starts whittling that time loss down.
I will say I'm glad I noticed I was one magic pixel too short for Cold Stare.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Ice Palace is a much tighter dungeon in vanilla preset.
I'm just glad I noticed because it meant I was able to go fairy refill so I could sword beams.
Yeah, that's like the alternative. If you have powder, you can spend a little bit of your magic on powdering anti-fairy and then just do sword beams, so you only have to use half of it and don't have to have a full magic bar.
I have powder, so I just drop down into the fairy fountain. Just because the other backup is the other backup I can think of is Samaria Magic Refill, and I don't have any experience with that.
I have some. I don't know. You would have to anticipate that and have a lot of bombs. Is my guess, but you can do it.
But I don't know that, so I just dropped in to the fairy fountain. Also, shouts to my internet for deciding immediately after the run to start dropping all my frames to Twitch.
Nice.
Incredible
Perfect timing. Yep. Meanwhile, Fiery did just kill Ganon. Gonna cross that bridge Fiery as well. Yeah, GG to Fiery as finishes with a 132.52. Yeah, we'll see if Fiery wants to join us. But yeah, this was a fun one.
On the bright side, having had switched computers recently and lost my old splits, it's all golds.
That's always a good feeling.
Yeah, fast round.
You can't hit golds anymore.
Well, to be more I don't have previous splits because I lost mine. All golds.
Oh man, I came real close. I came real
splits.
Close to having all golds just because of fast round tonight.
And GG Fiery.
Thanks. GG everyone.
GG.
Yeah, GG. Thank you for joining us on this one. I'm guessing a bit of a first time within the NMG space, but very appreciated that you came out for this.
Well, yeah, I figured why not? Let's try it. There are people in the community that told me you should do some NMG to train your execution, and figured, okay, why not start with this?
I mean,
Yeah.
brave to jump in. Brave to just jump straight in. So.
Well,
Yeah. I think this is a fine starting category for doing that, especially because it does feel like being on the rando ROM is probably going to feel a lot more immediately familiar to people and not have to switch back and forth between them and be like,
Especially
worrying about lag on different screens and stuff, or no lag now, as the case may be.
Especially now with Fiery being right out of Mentor Tournament, this is great familiarity after having gone through that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So.
I still need some training, I guess. A bit.
Well, I mean, look, not a bad run. A 132 first time through this, not knowing where everything might be. Still not a bad run overall. Like, there's a lot of that can just be, I know where I'm supposed to go and not just, kind of flying by the seat of your pants on a route.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have much else tonight unless any of you do.
I just want to say thanks to all of the Speed Gaming crew for putting this on for us. We talked a little bit about how we like to throw this in from time to time. I'm glad for every time that we do. I like to have the opportunity to show off the speedrunning side of things every once in a while and get that little bit of like rando vanilla crossover. So thanks again, everybody. Thanks all the production side for putting this on. Jesse for coming. I don't know who else was doing stuff. So I will.
Kif was our tracker tonight, and Adirondack Rick helped with the setup tonight. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you to you guys.
Good. Yeah. Thanks again for. Thanks for giving us a good comparison of two different skill levels here. You have Relkin and Yurok as longtime NMG players, and you have Fiery and I doing our best.
Yeah.
It's all content. It's content.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was fun.
I guess on the bright side, now Wolfie has something to go over with me later. So.
Well, I'm glad everybody had a great time tonight. I do appreciate you three joining us for the interview. GG's to everybody. PB for Yurok, and technically the current world record, I guess, for Relkin. We'll see how this the fight for top of this leaderboard progresses now. But have a great rest of your night, everybody. We do have more daily races, of course, for the rest of this week. What is the next one? I didn't take a look for the rest of this week. Tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon at 2:00 is Open Boots. Thursday evening we have Retrance, and Friday night we do have Invrosia. So some interesting modes for the rest of this week. And of course, in terms of Link to the Past stuff going on here on Speed Gaming, the Open Spoiler Tournament for SGL, the online portion, that is still going on. There is also the Casual Boots Tournament. Those are getting the occasional restreams. And if you didn't know, starting next week, we will have the return of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. Invitational and Open Leagues are starting up officially next week on Monday. With first race of the season is happening Sunday. So, yeah, we are rapidly approaching the regular season for that. So if you've missed League, we'll be starting off with Open AD or Co-op Open All Dungeons for week 1. So really looking forward to the start of the League season.
Same.
So it's going to be a great time coming if you are a rando fan. So with that, however, have a great night, everybody. Once again, shout outs to Kif on the tracking tonight and Adirondack Rick for helping with the setup. And of course, as always, make sure to follow the runners. Yarek, Relkin, Zeke, and Fiery for putting on a great show tonight. Thanks all, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, and good evening, everyone.